For tetrafloat to work really well, what we need is for the heave plates, the plates at the bottom of the buoys, to be down in fairly still water underneath the wave action. So I'm hoping that today they'll be able to test with shorter and shallower waves so that the heave plates that we've fitted to that unit will be able to reach down into where the water isn't moving so much. And then the heave plates will do what they're supposed to do, which is to stop the structure from responding heavily to the waves. Mini tetrafloat has been in the tank now and it has had some testing done on it. I hope we're going to see some of that testing actually happening today.
We have some waves of 0.02 meter of amplitude and 0.75 hertz of frequency. So the orange sensor, it allows us to record all the rotation of the nacelle. And after there is an ultrasonic sensor. With this sensor we can measure the wave height. You can see that we have a new mooring system with a little buoy in front of the tetrafloat. We can see the waves height in terms of millimeter, and I can record them to see if the motions of the tetrafloat are in phase with the waves. And after you can see the roll, the pitch and the yaw. When you multiply by the factor of the scale, you can have an idea of the real motion and of the real rotation of the tetrafloat. So inside each pillars, I add some bolts to add masses and weight and to equilibrate the tetrafloat. If I make a strong waves with a little frequency, the waves are going to push the tetrafloat. So it's interesting for Seamus to see for these waves, the tetrafloat is going to have a big excursion. So it's 1.5 hertz frequency.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I hope you're getting some of this, James. This is absolutely
the highest
perfect.
Frequency.
The most important thing here has been to see how effective the heave plates have been. So one of the things that most people think about floating platforms is that they're only solutions for deep water. And in fact, I think that you can potentially make this competitive in shallow water. And if in shallow water, a lot becomes easier. Actually, I think a lot becomes easier.
That's why we try to have a platform as stable as possible.
Absolutely.
For the turbine.
Absolutely. So we want as stable a platform as possible. That's definitely the game. The nice thing is that if the current tries to push tetrafloat offline, you can change the relative lengths of the two harness chains in front, and then as long as there's some downwind force, it will straighten up again. You can put forces on the platform from those two chains to counteract the current force and still keep it lined up. So this is very interesting to see this move right now. It's particularly interesting to see it moving back and forth there. So there's a fairly big resistance to the horizontal movement of the wave. Okay, well this is going to give some really good data for doing some practice modeling on the structure itself. I know exactly what to do next. Really positive about today. All sorts of positive things have moved forward. Cranfield's done a great set of tests on mini tetrafloat. Some surprising things as well. Surprising how much tetrafloat moves backwards when there are waves impinging on the front of it. That was news to me. So we have to think through what impact that might have, but really positive day. Very, very pleased. I hadn't seen what was going to happen with the shorter waves, and exactly what I thought would happen did happen, which is that the heave plates are much more effective with shorter waves that have essentially a lower depth to them. The movement of the water doesn't go as far down in the water, and you can see there quite clearly that the heave plates are much more effective. So this is exactly what was intended, and the whole purpose of making a light structure that behaves like a heavy structure because it grips the water seems to be working out. Another 1,000 days like today and we're there, I think.
For me, really? Nice. Single malt Scotch whiskey, nice. So we could have drunk like all the champagne in one night, but maybe not the whole bottle of whiskey. But thank you very much. It was a great pleasure to work on your project.